Shortness of breath is never a good sign, as not being able to breathe correctly can be a symptom of a number of health issues. And this morning, we want to welcome Cardiologist Dr. Shoba to Daytime to discuss what it means when you suffer from a shortness of breath. Good morning, Dr. Shoba.
Good morning.
Appreciate you being here. Like I said, shortness of breath, never good. That is never a good sign.
That is absolutely true. You know, a sensation of not getting enough air in, feeling breathless, feeling short of breath with minimal activities. These can all be a sign of something more serious going on the inside.
When we talk about that, you know, during this time of COVID, one of the things that it pops up with COVID and other issues is that shortness of breath. When you suffer, when you're going through shortness of breath, you really need to contact a doctor immediately, don't you?
That is correct. And sometimes, you know, shortness of breath can be, you know, the early stages, you know, when you're deconditioned, you've not been doing a whole lot in the winter, and you suddenly try to do a spurt of activity, you've gained a lot of weight, and you try to do something, then you might get a little short of breath. That's normal. Gradually, you know, you should be able to get better. But if your shortness of breath is persisting or lingering or new onset, you need to be worried. If you've got a fever, you've got chills, and you're out of breath, you could be having something like pneumonia. If you're having wheezing episodes, you know, you could be having asthma, your emphysema could be acting up, so your allergies, that can make you short of breath. A more serious cause of shortness of breath from the lungs could be if you have a blood clot in the lungs. You have sudden onset of shortness of breath that is fairly severe. You may have some sharp chest pains when you take a deep breath in. You know, your oxygen levels are running low. That could be a sign of a blood clot in the lung. And remember, there are a lot of cardiac causes of shortness of breath as well.
I was going to mention that. We talked to you as a cardiologist and heart issues. One of the main symptoms when we start talking about diagnosing a heart attack or something along those lines is shortness of breath.
Right. And you know, if you're having shortness of breath with a lot of chest tightness, ache in the back between the shoulder blades, the shortness of breath is not letting up, the chest pain is not letting up, that could be a sign of a heart attack. Now, if your feet are swelling, you're gradually getting more short of breath, you're more out of breath when you lay down, that can actually be a sign of congestive heart failure. Now, sometimes people will have fluttering or palpitations in their heart. Heart rhythm problems can be associated with feeling out of breath. For example, atrial fibrillation. Has your heart flipped out of rhythm? Has it gone from being a normal rhythm to being a condition called atrial fibrillation? Or you're having a lot of extra skip beats like PVCs. You've drank a lot of caffeine, you've not slept enough through the night, you have sleep apnea, your blood pressure is high, and all of a sudden your heart starts throwing all these extra beats called PACs and PVCs. And you may not feel them, but you may just get short of breath and feel tired. So heart rhythm problems, congestive heart failure, heart attacks, they can all present as shortness of breath.
And you mentioned something, and I've been hearing a lot of folks here lately that have been diagnosed with blood clots in their lungs. That
Yes.
is another serious thing that we need to take into consideration.
That is correct. Blood clots in the lung can kill just like a heart attack. It's like having a lung attack. And so blood clots, either from infections or from genetic clotting disorders, or if you have traveled a long distance and you've got swelling on the feet, you could be having blood clots in the legs if you don't move your legs much. You know, sometimes simple things like thyroid trouble and anemia can also cause a feeling of feeling very tired and out of breath with minimal activities. Your blood sugars are not under good control. You have sleep apnea. Some of those things will also cause shortness of breath. Now, some young people can have shortness of breath if they're having an anxiety attack or a panic attack, they are hyperventilating. So there are so many different kinds of, causes of shortness of breath. And we have to individualize why a certain person is short of breath so that we can get to the root cause and treat it.
It sounds to me like, you know, cutting back on the caffeine, cutting back, especially smoking, and making sure you kind of de-stress, get some stress out of your life. Those go a long way to making sure that you can make sure you're breathing correctly.
That is correct. And you hit the nail on the head there. Stress can cause so many symptoms, including fatigue and just feeling so tired all the time, not getting enough air in. and stress is an important cause of that too.
All right. Dr. Shoba, thank you so much for taking some time with us today. Some great advice and great information about being short of breath.
Thank you.
All right, Dr. Shoba, our cardiology specialist here on Daytime Tri-Cities. If you got questions, right there at the bottom of the screen is a 1-800 number, and heart.org is a great resource when it comes to questions, when it comes to shortness of breath or taking care of your heart health.